Schmo with the pro, with one of the best managers in all of mixed martial arts and all of combat sports, Mr. Ali Abdelaziz, just finished up here for the EagleFC 46 press conference, Miami, Florida. How we doing?
I'm doing great, man. I'm doing great. Just looking forward to a second event of EagleFC UFC and have some great fights. I'm looking forward to Khabib versus Sanchez. They have a little bit beef at the press conference. I kind of liked it.
Yeah, well, Diego Sanchez just stood here moments ago and told the Schmo it was you who called him up and said, we want you here to fight in the EagleFC against Kevin Lee. How did you persuade the Pioneer to come into this organization and not sign with bare knuckle?
Thiago, actually, he's been a training partner of mine. We used to live in New Mexico together, and I brought me in to help him with the Carpa region fight because judo stuff. And now me and him since been friends for 17 years. He's a great guy, and actually Kevin Lee, one of my training partner too in Vegas, and I thought that would have been a great fight. Khabib wanted to make this fight. He asked me to reach out to Thiago because he's my friend, and I reached out to both of them actually, and we made it happen.
And two great guys to kick off the 165-pound weight division, the super lightweight division.
Yeah, for sure. I think it's a weight division everybody was asking for a long time. Finally, Khabib made the decision to bring it to the world of MMA on a big stage, and we can't wait to see this main event. It's going to be a great fight.
Yes, indeed. And speaking of Khabib, not long overdue because it happened pretty immediately. He's inducted into the UFC Hall of Fame. They made the announcement over at the UFC 272 press conference. He's going to get inducted during International Fight Week. What was your immediate reaction when you saw that?
I think, man, I know 3 weeks about it. Dana and his team mentioned it, and I kind of have to keep it as a secret. And I think, it was, he's the greatest pound-for-pound fighter of all the time, in my opinion. Not just a great fighter, great human being, great an ambassador for the sport. Khabib is a guy we want our kids to be like. He's such a great human being, and is anybody that deserves to be in Hall of Fame is him. You see him even get inducted before guys like Anderson Silva, and I'm sure Anderson will be in the Hall of Fame. But that shows you how much Dana and the UFC really respect him, and I'm very grateful for that. They recognize the accomplishment he had done, the impact he had done, not only in the U.S., like worldwide. He's one of the most famous athletes in the world, not just being famous, just a role model for a lot of people.
A lot of talk the other week about Islam Makhachev fighting RDA going up on short notice. There was a lot of miscommunication back and forth about what the real story was. And then Dana White came out and said he wants to see him indeed fight Beniel Dariush, someone you also represent. As the manager of both those guys, do you still want to see that fight next for both men?
Listen, at the end of the day, Beniel Dariush is on 7-fight winning streak. I think if somebody says he's next for the title, you cannot disagree with him. Islam on 10-fight winning streak. If he say he's next for the title, nobody, can disagree with him. They both earn a title shot. At the end of the day, when my guys come to this high level, right, I let the Dana make the decision. He's the boss of the UFC. He makes matches, But at the end of the day, Islam, he feel like he earned it. Beniel Fernandez, he earned it. You see Mike Chandler getting a title shot at one fight. Now Gaethje fighting Oliveira is one of my guys too. And in a way, the winner will fight one of these guys. I think everything is timing. It depends when is Beniel's going to hell and come back, if they need Islam for Abu Dhabi, right? Listen, Islam and Beniel, they was going to fight. These guys have no problem fighting each other. But I believe they're the best two guys in the division, with Justin Gaethje too being in there. But at the end of the day, this is Dana's call. I respect Dana. But I feel Islam earned a title shot too. Like I said, Beniel earned a title shot too. And we cannot see who's next. I think things happen. Justin Oliveira might get injured. Gaethje might get injured. Something might happen. He might see Beniel jump in or Islam jump in. We cannot predict the future. I think we have to wait, see how Beniel's injury is healing up. We're going to wait, see how Dana's emotional. Maybe go down. But I feel Islam called, he won this fight. And I think it was a small provision Islam wanted. It took him all day to come from LA. And to be fair to Dana, he called me at midnight and he gave me what we asked for. But Islam at the time was so exhausted. He's like, I just been exhausted all day and I just fought 4 days ago. And you can't really try to push a guy who fought 4 days ago to fight. But he wanted to fight, right? I don't think anybody did anything wrong here. Dana or Islam or anybody. And I think, to be honest with you, I wanted this fight. I wanted Islam to fight Rafael dos Anjos. Khabib wanted this fight to fight Rafael dos Anjos because I don't think this fight would have lasted 3 rounds, my opinion. I think Islam one of the most dominant guys in the UFC today in any weight division, you know. That's what I think about Islam.
Will we ever see that fight, or is it going to be like a Tony Ferguson-Khabib fight where we always dreamed about it and it never happened?
Listen, you know, Rafael is a great fighter, is a former champion. It's always great to fight with a former champion, right? But at the end of the day, he's number 7, Islam number 3. You know, Islam want to fight for the title, or you need to fight someone, get him into the title. And Dana said if you beat him, you're guaranteed a title shot. The fight didn't happen. Listen, you know, you just need to give him a little bit of time to cool down, and I think everything will be okay.
Sounds like a timing thing. Now, you also represent, he's one of your best friends too, the #1 pound-for-pound fighter in the world, Kamaru Usman. He's not shy. He wants to box the #1 pound-for-pound guy in Canelo. So let me ask you this. Let's get your prediction. What is likely to happen first? A Colby Covington, Kamaru Usman 3, or a boxing match between Usman and Canelo Alvarez?
This is the Nigerian nightmare. That's what he like. Nigerian nightmare is how I like to say it. Listen, you know, Leon Edwards is next in July. Probably International Fight Week. Dana have to, and Sean Shelby and all those guys have to kind of give us the date. They show, they run their show. But realistically, you know, Kamaru didn't call out Jake Paul or Logan Paul or none of these guys. You have to respect the man. He called out this coward. And honestly, all these boxing guys are a little bit coward because they will not come to MMA. They will not fight in the street. They only want to fight in the boxing ring under their rules. And guess what? If you're not willing to come to our sport, the UFC or MMA in general, you shouldn't call yourself a fighter. You're a sportsman, right? Canelo, if you want the smoke, Kamaru will give him the smoke. He was going to fight a guy with 7,000 followers on Instagram. You know, he could have fought me and sold more pay-per-view. But in reality, Kamaru want to challenge himself. I give him, nobody give him a chance. I'll give him a bigger chance. You know why? Kamaru, a kid, come from Africa, and he become graduated college, become an NCAA champion, become a UFC champion, become the pound for pound, the greatest fighters of all the time. Now, I'm gonna give Kamaru a chance over Canelo every day. That's what Kamaru want. Dana White is the greatest promoter of all the time. If this fight happen, Dana White is the promoter. It will not happen without Dana. Kamaru and Dana have a great relationship. They always have a great communication. They can talk. They can try to make things happen, you know. And I'm involved too, you know. Like at the end of the day, whatever makes sense, whatever make dollar makes sense. The UFC is a business, right? And if Dana and the UFC think can make money, why not? Let's do it. But at the end of the day, Kamaru's still a UFC fighter, and you have to abide by certain rules.
But if you were to impose your will or to make a guess, do you think that would happen before a Colby Covington 3?
Colby Covington, he looked like shit. He beat you know, I don't think he looked good his last fight. If any of these guys who fought last week and fought Kamaru or Islam Makhachev or Summit, these guys, they would have got finished in 3 rounds, you know. Listen, you know, they tough, they good fighter, but I always say it's different between good fighters and great fighters. They're not great fighters, they're good fighters. Kamaru Usman is a great fighter. Khabib Nurmagomedov is a great fighter. Henry Cejudo is a great fighter. Kayla Harrison is a pound-for-pound queen. You understand? But they're good fighters. They're entertaining. You know, the event wasn't sold out. It was a lot of empty seat. I don't think it was a big fight. They create a lot of media noise. I don't think they created a lot of bias. This is my opinion. But if they did, good for them. I hope they make 100 million each. But Colby Covington's irrelevant. Who's a guy been beaten by the champion 2 times. His jaw been broken. You know, you know, if you look at top 15 right now, Colby Covington, the only person who fought in the top 15 is Kamaru Usman. He never beat anybody in the top 15. He need to fight winner of Gilbert comes out. He need to fight Vicente Luque. He need to fight Belal Muhammad. He need to put some work in. But he's not going to get a title shot anytime soon.
Well, Dana White sees the winner of Khamzat Chimaev and Gilbert Burns as the #1 contender fight, but also guys that you represent is Vicente Luque and Belal Muhammad. What about the winner of that? Is that not the winner getting the #1 contender fight, but it is Khamzat Chimaev and Gilbert Burns?
I think if you look at numbers, I think Belal and Vicente never fought for a title before, and they are on a winning streak. How are you going to put these guys number 1 contender over Gilbert, who just fought for the title, or comes out who's number 11? But at the end of the day, Dana White is the promoter. I have my opinion. Kamaru have his opinion. But at the end of the day, when last time you see Kamaru shy from a fight? Never.
Doesn't happen.
Doesn't happen. Whatever makes sense, Kamaru will do. At the end of the day, like I said, Kamaru and Dana have amazing relationship. They always see eye to eye. Everybody know I love Dana. He's somebody who's I respect a lot, but also it's a business. And at the end of the day, whatever decision is going to make sense for everybody is going to happen.
Final message for all the Ali Abdelaziz fans out there worldwide.
What about Kayla Harrison, the greatest combat athlete of all the time? Sorry, Henry. She about to have 2 gold medal, about to win 3rd world title. You understand? Everybody's ducking her. She just signed a great deal with PFL. She's the highest female fighter of all the time. She's probably top 3 in MMA right now, money-wise. I know what everybody's making. And I talk about boys or girls. And I think, first, I want to thank Bellator, Mike Hogan, Scott Coker stepping up, make a great offer. Bellator stepped up, BFL stepped up big, matched the offer, went on beyond to make it happen. I'm grateful for everybody who's... that was my first time ever to go to a free agency, and I was afraid, I was scared. I learned a lot about it, and I thought I know everything, and I did it, right? And it's the most important is how to manage relationship with everybody to make sure Kayla come on top. I believe Bellator, thank you again, Mike Hogan. I want to thank Pete Murray, Ray Suffel, Don Davis, everybody stepped in and really, really valued Kayla. And I'm very, very proud to be part of her legacy, to be part of this moment. Finally, she's getting what she's worth. She's been getting what she's worth all her career. Matter of fact, I cannot say that. But I'm glad PFL have stepped in. Really, really did a great job with the deal. They matched the offer. And I'm very grateful for everyone who's involved.
And the door's open to have the super fight, cross-promoting PFL Bellator with Cyborg?
Listen, at the end of the day, PFL fighter is Kayla Harrison. Cyborg is a Bellator fighter. It's a completely different promotions, right? She's under contract. I cannot speak on Bellator's behalf. I cannot speak about PFL's behalf. At the end of the day, the only promoter in history he did co-promotion, and he's a gangster, is a Scott Coker. Mm-hmm. I think PFL are open to it, but it's not of my business to say they should do co-promote or not. But I know Scott Coker did it before. He's the only guy have balls and did it, but nobody else did.
That's why we're just speaking it into existence. He's the pro, I'm the Schmo, Miami, Florida, the FlexCast Arena. We're out.